Just a short morning flap to explain yesterday's activities. Good morning, YouTube. Here with you on a Friday morning, I believe. Last I checked, it's around 9:06 in the morning. I had a busy day yesterday. I mailed 2 more beta test BDST units out. So I have all those out now. The first ones I mailed the other day should arrive today, according to their tracking. So we'll see, and if they do, be nice. The other ones, one of them should arrive Monday, domestic, and the other one's Canada, so we don't know when that'll arrive. You know how that works. So that we'll hear from those, I'm sure, soon, and that'll be nice. A project here on the bench. I don't know how well you can see it on that camera angle, but I did take the other Hallicrafters S38C that I have, put it up on the bench. I noticed a change right away when I hooked it up. The B plus from the capacitor checker, the heat kit, dropped way down, way down. I think the first attempt at this was done wrong again. I know I had the ground hooked up wrong. Bob pointed that out to me, that this uses, as Ron C. said, I think, a floating ground. So I think this time when I hooked it up correctly, it drew that power down to just a couple 3 volts, you know, on the heat kit. Even if I turned it up to 350, it wasn't much. So to that end, that's not going to work. You know, I do appreciate Bill giving me the idea to do this. I think that was a worthwhile. I think it's a worthwhile endeavor, but it's just that the heat kit just doesn't have the oomph necessary to do that. At least with the audio. Now it may be because the other tube, the preamp, it had the current requirements was really low. Less than a milliamp, and so on a tube like that, I'm sure that heat kit would provide enough current for it. The IF tubes may be the same way. I don't know. I haven't checked their specifications, but anyway, that's the deal on that. So I wanted to let everybody know that I do have a plan in the works. You know, you guys know me well enough to know. I generally don't like being defeated by things like this, and I have purchased a power transformer from eBay. The one I'm getting, I'm going to flash some pictures up of it, is a 480 volt center tapped power transformer. It also has 6.3 windings, I think a couple of those, so we should be able to get a 6.3 and a 12.6 out of that for filament voltages, just in case. And I still have my Variac to power up filaments on stuff like this, on the AA5 type receivers, where it calls for different filament voltages. And we will eventually get to power up one of these radios, as I had originally wanted to try, divide and conquer. And Bob says he has the necessary, most of them, components to put this little power supply together. It will be adjustable, 0 to basically 300 volts. I may do some altercations, whatever, to make it even higher voltage if needed. I think 300 volts probably will be covering, you know, pretty good ground on DC B plus type voltage. and I think this is going to be capable of 100 milliamps, I believe. So, you know, I think that should be sufficient for, like I say, one circuit. It should be sufficient for a whole radio, really. So, I would think. But anyway, like I said, I want to do this stuff, and like I said, it's just the little cap checker just didn't have the necessary power coming out of that little transformer to. It's just, you know, meant to check capacitors is all it's for. It's just basically a static type voltage there that it provides. So again, like I said, that's what that's going to be. And I had a busy day yesterday, as I mentioned. I mailed off two more BDST. Like I say, one to Canada, one here in the States, and those are gone out. And also, while I was out, I went ahead and visited my mother. She was a little more worried this time than usual. She thinks she needs to get some things together and pay her bills and things like that. And I've tried to assure her that you know, that's being taken care of. But and she said she thought maybe she really was thinking that she needed to be in a nursing home. And I told her, I said, well, Mom, that's exactly where you're at. So she was a little surprised to hear that. Of course, she's surprised every time I say anything, you know, that's just the way that works. But I didn't have a chance to take her out for anything, ice cream or anything like that yesterday. I was in a bit of a hurry because I got there late. Other stuff I had to do. I did also go by and see my son yesterday. He recently got a pop-up camper, and you know, he has a couple young boys and a daughter. So you know, I'm sure they want to go camping. So I always enjoyed it when I was younger. So, and I enjoyed taking the kids when they were little too. So. Anyway, I stopped by to look at that and have a little chat with him. I hadn't talked to him for a while, you know, other than the last time he was here. So that was a good visit. I had enjoyed that. And finally got home last evening. I stopped by KFC and had a Famous Bowl $5 fill-up. I kind of like those. It's a quick, easy meal, cheap. I mean, $5 is not really too bad. So, and of course, my knees were letting me know this morning. Or last night in bed that I'd used them way too much yesterday. I don't know if it's my knees that complain about the use or the weight that they're carrying. Probably a little bit of both, but you know how that works. So I watched Bill's flapping video. Bill, you are the king of flappers. We know that. Everybody knows that. And so I enjoy your flapping videos. I do, because you know I can do a lot of other things while I'm listening to you, because like I said, unless he has something to show, I generally just listen while I'm doing other things. But and I'm sure people, you know, do that a lot to my videos as well when I do stuff like this. But anyway, it's just that's what's going on. Thought I would do a video because I didn't do one yesterday, and I'm looking forward to building this little. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I'm running out of room. I know Bill was talking about that also. I have one more space left on the back board of the under the pegboard, but that I know that transformer is not going to fit in there. But I do have a space over there by the signal generator where that transformer could sit, and then put the outlet here on the backboard like I was talking about. So I may come up with a plan for that later on, I don't know. But I also will flash up the circuit that we plan to use, or I plan to use for this 0 to 300 volt B plus supply, and show you what that looks like. You can see it's pretty simple circuit, adjustable with the 500K pot there. I don't know about the regulation is not going to be great, but you know that's not why I'm doing this. like I said, I was taught when I went to school with variac type power supplies, and if you needed more voltage, you crank the variac up a little bit more, and that's what I usually do here. So, and that's why I enjoy doing it that way. But and that's the same way with that one. If we provide, you know, say 100 volts or 120 volts or whatever, and then you hook it up to the circuit, it drops down to 90 or 80 or whatever, you can crank it up a little bit, provide a little bit more. That's the way I was taught in school, and so we very seldom worked with any kind of regulated power supplies. Maybe your 13.8 or something like that, for car radios, things like that, we might have done that. But even then, I always just used the bench supply and, you know, cranked it up till it was correct voltage, and that was it. So, anywho, that's that. But that's the circuit I plan to use, and like I said, Bob is sending me the transistors, the Zener, and something else. I can't remember what else. There was something else, but I think well, that may be it. I don't know. But he's assured me, or he didn't assure me, but he showed me the picture of the envelope, and he was heading out the door to get him a bite to eat, I believe, and to mail that letter. So it should be here fairly quick, and I have a tracking number for the transformer itself, but don't have an actual. It hasn't actually been mailed yet. But anyway, also I have the capacitor for that ordered. It is coming from China, so you know that may take a while. But like I said, I do have it ordered. I ordered the 220 at 450 volts because of this particular transformer that I'm using. It provides 240 instead of the 230 that the original circuit that we got this circuit from was providing. I think the original circuit was a well, actually it was supposed to be running off a 1-to-1 transformer in places like the UK, Europe, you know, that have the 220, 240, whatever voltage on their mains. So I think that was what it was designed for, but it will work just as well with our 240 volt supply from the 480, because it's center tap. So we'll divide that in half and get the like I said, it'll be 240. So that should work just fine, and looking forward to that. And like I said, that's about it. So I'm going to call this a video and get it uploaded. My neighbor over next door here in the duplex is having a yard sale today, so people in and out over there, and I gave her a couple tables to use for her yard sale this morning, so that will be alright. And that's about all that's going on. Oh, Bob's back. You guys have a pleasant day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you real soon.